If we were able to meet in person, we would be celebrating together with lots of cookies and good treats. So we'll have to do that after COVID. But for now, we're going to celebrate in this format by celebrating your work and also hearing from all the different arts therapists who help all these artists to be able to create this work together. So I'm going to turn it over to Jackie now. And thank you guys for being here. Thank you guys for being part of this program.
Yes, thank you so much, Eva. And we just like to thank you, Eva and Gina, and everyone at West 83 for helping us put this together so beautifully, this HeARTwork exhibition. The works are just presented in such a beautiful way, and we just are so grateful for the opportunity to be able to show everyone what our kids have created. So so I'm Jackie. I used to be a music therapist at Center for All Abilities, and then I moved to DC last year, or over a year ago now. So I now do more events and development and things like that. But I love events like this where I get to see and stay connected with everyone that I used to work with, all the kids, all the youth, and see everything that they've been up to. This beautiful exhibition being one of them. So today, to open the exhibition, we will be introducing our creative arts team. And we have art, music, and dance movement therapy at Center for All Abilities. And so having each of these three modalities help the children discover their creative potential in their own creative way. So without our amazing music, art, and dance therapists, we would not have this exhibition to share with everyone today. So we are just so grateful for our team's hard work and passion. So I'm first going to introduce our creative arts director, Wen, who can't be with us today because she is in Taiwan. So it's, I think, 4 a.m. or so there, but she has pre-recorded a beautiful introductory message for this exhibition. So I'm just going to share my screen.
Hello, everyone. My name is Wen. I'm the director of the Creative Arts Therapy program at Center for All Abilities. I'm so excited to kick off the months-long HeARTwork art exhibition as a collaboration with W83. The exhibition features a collection of artwork created by the children and youth of all abilities during art therapy sessions and art making workshops in the past years. The process of art making provides a venue for self-expression and emotional outlet. And in art therapy sessions, we utilize a variety of materials that offer the participants different sensory experiences and satisfaction. The process allows play and joyful connection and engagement with the therapist, which further enhances the participants' social and communication skills. As the children experience the joy of being able to freely express and share their inner worlds with others and be accepted by others for who they are, they then can gain more self-awareness and self-confidence. As you will discover in the exhibition, every artist has a unique style that gives us a deeper look of their inner world. And we welcome you to celebrate each of the artists' hard work and HeARTwork over the past years with us. Thank you for joining us. And our creative arts team will talk more and share more about their work and their specific modalities with you. And thank you again. Enjoy.
So that is our amazing creative arts director, Wen, who is also, she's a music therapist. So our therapists have each put together short videos of activities that they often use in their sessions. So I'll be introducing each of our therapists one by one, and they'll be able to share a little bit about their modality, and then we will share their video, and then they'll be able to talk a bit more about it if they'd like. And then we'll end today with if you have any questions, keep them in your head, because we will end today with a Q&A for our therapists for any questions you might have for them. So the first therapist I'd like to introduce is Jenna, who is one of our music therapists. And she's been with us since 2019, and we're just so lucky to have her on our team. So Jenna, I'm going to turn it over to you.
All right, thanks, Jackie. So I'm a music therapist, a board certified music therapist. And the video that you're gonna see is a hello song. And in music therapy, we like to keep a structure to the session. So generally we'll start with singing hello to each other. If it's a group, we sing hello to everyone. And we end the session usually with a song to say goodbye. So that's what you'll see in the video is an example of a hello song. And what we do in between depends on the needs of the children and the goals and objectives that we've established together and with parents and with other staff members. So some examples of goals and activities that we may do. We try to promote self-esteem and self-identity. And we do that in music. We can do that through songwriting, playing instruments that we like, exploring our inner world that way. There's one specific activity that I did with Jack, who I think is here. And this was an art activity, but a good example of exploring his identity. He had the idea to make nesting dolls, which are the dolls that kind of fit inside of each other. And the outside was a beautiful self-portrait of how people see Jack. And the inside was getting a little bit deeper, different things that he enjoys and that are important to him. And the little tiny doll represented his deepest inner self that maybe nobody knows about, or just a few people know about. Some other things we work on, we can promote language skills through singing. We can work on impulse control and frustration tolerance through engaging in experiences like drumming, practicing starting and stopping and playing in different ways. Even online, we can make beats with almost anything, with our bodies, with Tupperware, we can make drums. And definitely improving or giving opportunities for self-expression through singing, through playing, songwriting, like I said, and working with our emotions. We call that emotion regulation. So we can practice tools to cope with difficult situations, like expressing our feelings through our voice or through playing instruments. And it's important that we build that relationship between the therapist and the kids so that there's trust and we can really go there together. And obviously we want to have fun and work on some foundational music skills. So a basis for being able to make music going forward in our lives. So I think that's about it. Yeah, music is a wonderful way to explore and express that inner world where sometimes words fall short.
Thank you, Jenna. So I'll share your video now, which is a hello song that I believe you wrote yourself, correct? Yes, okay. So I will share that now.
Hello, I'm Miss Jenna, one of the music therapists, and welcome to our creative arts therapy session. We're going to start by singing hello, which is a ritual that we do in many of our creative arts therapy sessions at CAA. We'll start by saying hello to music, and then we'll say hello to movement, and then we'll say hello to art and the kids and the families and the teachers. Okay? And it goes like this. Sing along at home. Well, it's time to say hello, to say hello. Let's sing that together. Ready? 1, 2, ready, and sing. Well, it's time to say hello, to say hello. Can you sing hello? Yeah, it's time to say hello, to say hello. We'll start with the kids. Hello to the kids. It's so nice to see you, kids. Hello, can you sing hello? Even louder, can you sing hello? Yeah, it's time to say hello, to say hello. Now we're gonna sing hi to music. Hello to music. It's so nice to be with you in music. Hello. We'll say hi to movement. Hello to movement and dance. It's so nice to be with you and move and dance. Hello. And art. Hello to art. It's so nice to make art with you. Hello. Now let's say hi to the families. Mom, Dad, Grandma, Grandpa, whoever you're with. Hello to the families. It's so nice to be with you, families. Hello. And we'll say hi to all the therapists. Miss Jenna, Joanna, Mary, Jasmine. Hello to the therapists. Ready? Hello to the therapists. It's so nice to be with you, therapists. Hello. Can you sing hello? Let me hear you sing hello. It's time to say hello, to say
So thank you, Jenna. Jenna, was there anything else you wanted to say about that particular activity?
Hey, Juanita. I don't think so. Just want to say that it's an honor and a pleasure to work with all the CAA kids. That's all.
And I'm sure they feel the same. Thank you. Okay, and the next the next therapist I would like to introduce is Jasmine, who's an art therapist in training right now at NYU. And she she's also been with us since 2020 or 2019, Jasmine?
2020, February 2020.
So a year. And she works on Saturdays. She worked this morning and afternoon with many of the kids who are here today and are featured in the exhibition. So Jasmine, I'm going to turn it over to you.
Hi, everybody. As Jackie said, my name is Jasmine. It's really nice to see all of you either again or for the first time. So as she said, I began with CAA in 2020 in February, shortly before the pandemic started, actually. So we've actually been spending a lot of our time virtually, which has been very fascinating for us as we've gotten to know each other over this past year, as I have also been growing as an art therapist. So like I have been growing just as much as these kids, and it's been so great to like be able to experience this with them, because honestly, like the amount of love and patience I've experienced from both the kids and the families has been phenomenal. And it's been really great watching how they grow using materials at home. So usually, as I am in the studio now, we have a plethora of materials here to play with, like, you know, paints and markers and colored pencils and all the things. But unfortunately, being stuck at home, we've had to improvise and really kind of problem solve and figure out how we can best use art therapy at home using art like materials from household materials. So things like aluminum foil, plastic bags, you know, flour, paper towels, anything that's available. And we have done our best to provide materials for the families, but it has also been kind of like, you know, a lot of experimentation. But it's been great because as a result, there's just kind of a lot of like exploring happening, and that exploring is kind of feeding into all of these goals that we are setting for learning kind of how to express ourselves in different ways, like, you know, express our emotions, express ourselves verbally, talk about our art, talk about the materials that we're using, our motor skills. So, you know, the kids are really working on like using their fingers, using their hands, big movement, right? You know, just holding the materials can be such an adventure, right? Because everything feels different. Holding a paintbrush feels so different than holding a marker, holding a crayon, holding aluminum foil, the sounds that they make. And we've been working a lot on things like impulse control, you know, waiting patiently for instructions, waiting patiently for mom to give us our materials that we're so excited to use, right? So, you know, it's just every day is a step-by-step process, and the kids are doing so great. It's so amazing to watch them at home. And then another big one for us is independence, right? Like, you know, being independent in our decision making, just in each individual mark that we make, like, you know, knowing that that is our decision to make that mark and to, you know what our art, that's their art. And like that also feeds into imaginary play, being able to explore and use that imagination to really create really fantastic works of art that are so expressive and true to who the kids are, especially when sometimes they don't have the ability to express that verbally. So the best way to do that for them is visually. The way I've been able to get to know some of the kids just by watching what they draw has been amazing, because they might not want to answer my question, but they want to show me, right? So it's been awesome. It's been an adventure, and I'm really excited to continue with them and continue making more art. Yeah, and then as far as my video goes, my video is of our ritual. So we always begin our sessions with our feelings faces. I have made these feelings faces that the kids, depending on the goals of the child, they will either tell me what they see or they will show me the emotion that they see, right? So this kind of really helps with expressing their emotions, understanding emotions, talking about emotions. And it's just a really simple way to start the beginning of the session. It's just a couple minutes, and it's a great way. And sometimes this can lead into bigger activities. Sometimes we're done and we move on to something new. Yeah.
Great. Thank you, Jasmine. So I will share your video.
Hi, my name is Jasmine, and today we're going to talk about our feelings. We're going to do this using feelings cards like these. These can be used to show people how we feel when we can't really use our words. This. To start, all we need are index cards or some paper and markers. First, we're going to make a happy card. So when you're happy and you know it, what do? I know I like to smile like that, or some people like to do a thumbs up. So in order to draw a smiley face, all we have to do is make a circle like that. Draw 2 lines or dots for the eyes, and then draw an upside down U to make a smiley face. Now, when you think of a color that makes you happy, what color do you think of? I know I like the color yellow. I think it's a very happy color. Once you pick your color, you can color your smiley face with your happy color. Like that. Next, we're gonna make a sad face. So if you're sad and you know it, what do? I know when I'm sad, I like to cry. In order to make a sad face, we're gonna draw another circle and another pair of eyes, like that. Then we're gonna draw an upside down U to make a sad face. And if you like to cry like me when you're sad, you can just add some dots under the eyes to make a crying face. Now, what color do you think of when you think of a sad color? I know for me, I think blue is a very sad color. So I'm gonna color my face blue. And there's my sad face. Next, we're gonna make an angry face. So when you're angry and you know it, what do? I know I like to kind of roar. Ugh! It makes me feel better, and then people know that I'm angry. In order to make an angry face, we're going to draw a circle, draw the eyes, draw another upside down U, just like the sad face, like that. But then we're gonna add some eyebrows that go inward, like that. Now our face looks angry. So when you think of an angry color, what do you think of? I think red is a very angry color. I'm gonna color my face red. Now, we have an angry face. Last, we're gonna make a tired face. So when you're tired and you know it, what do? I know I do a big yawn, like that. And sometimes I close my eyes and go to sleep, like that. So when you draw a sleepy face, start with another circle, like this. But now we're drawing closed eyes. So we're gonna draw tiny upside down U's, like that. Now you can draw whatever you want for the mouth. I know I snore when I sleep. So I'm gonna draw open mouth with some Z's. Now you can see my sleepy face. Now, what is a sleepy color for you? I feel like green's a sleepy color. So I'm gonna color my face green. Now I have my sleepy face. Now you should have all of your feelings cards. You should have a happy face, a sad face, an angry face, and a sleepy face. And if you ever have trouble telling somebody how you feel, just use your feelings cards.
Thank you, Jasmine. Did you want to talk a little bit more about the activity?
No, unless anybody has any questions. I feel like it's pretty straightforward. I love these feeling spaces. It's one of my favorite rituals. Some of the responses, Juanita and Wallace, who are here, always have very active responses, especially Juanita, to this ritual. So maybe they can elaborate if they would like. But it's a really fun way to talk to the kids about emotions.
Yeah, it's great. I love the activity. Well, I will move forward then. So the next therapist I would like to introduce is Mary, who is our dance and movement therapist, who's been with us, I believe, since 2019. Is that right, Mary?
Yes.
Yes. So she's going to talk a little bit about dance movement therapy, and then I will share her video that she created.
First, I would like to say thank you for the opportunity for all of us to kind of share our work and how amazing it has been for the last year and a half to work with this population. In the time of when COVID really first hit, it really invigorated us to push and become more creative in the way we approach our children via a virtual platform. So I know it definitely pushed me to just keep focusing on how to non-verbally communicate and provide a space for our children to communicate. So as a dance movement therapist, we really focus on the nonverbal expression and facilitating a space where children can feel comfortable in inhibited self-expression and just exploring what emotions and thoughts mean on their bodies or through storytelling. I do a lot of storytelling, body percussion, even we'll do movement stories. So it's really focusing on the nonverbal. A lot of the points that the other therapists mentioned kind of relate to dance movement therapists as well. So facilitating communication, self-regulation, and as I mentioned before, self-expression. Some of our children are nonverbal, so a lot of what I focus on is self-awareness, being aware of your body in ways that do not require words. The video that you're gonna see is gonna touch a little bit on that, so I'm gonna elaborate the video.
Great, so I will share your video, Mary. Thank you.
Hey, today we are looking at body percussion for direct client interaction. Body percussion works well in all types of modality, but it's perfect for dance movement therapy. It involves rhythm, it involves movement, and fun. It also works well for the therapist or guardian because it allows you to relax, to get into your body, and really tune in to your client or child. Let's start with the first rhythm that I learned as a care counselor when engaging with children, motivating them to introduce themselves, to speak to me, and to really just have fun. The step goes like this: a boom, boom, chap, chap, a boom, chap, a boom, boom, chap, chap, a boom, chap. Now, before we get into how this can be an introductory song, let's talk about how we can break it down for a child that might be struggling or might find this rhythm difficult to follow. Now, if we can't get to chap, chap, we can keep it at a boom, boom, a boom, boom, a boom, boom, a boom, boom, and either create a funny, silly dance or even a story. A boom, boom can sound like a giant. A boom, boom can sound like a heart. So feel free to take creative liberty here. Allow your client or your child to come up with ideas of what a boom, boom sounds for them. So we can sit in a boom, boom for as long as we need to. There's no rush here. This is about building trust, safety, so that a child can explore his or her body without feeling rushed or shamed that they're not catching up as fast as we need to. It's about the child. Now, a boom, boom, chap, chap can be also an introductory song. As a camp counselor, as I said before, I use this song to help kids break out of their shell, break the ice. So here we go. A boom boom chap chap, a boom chap, a boom boom chap chap, a boom chap. My name is Miss Mary. Go Miss Mary, go Miss Mary. I come from the Bronx. Go Bronx, go Bronx. I like to eat a lot of pizza. Go pizza, go pizza. So get down with my pizza. So get down with your pizza. So this can be a great mirroring activity where you are acknowledging the wants, the likes of your child, and they can do the same thing for you. My next rhythm is called Sunu, and it's from West Africa. I learned this in African dance. Now, this is a fun rhythm that you can really take your time with, and again, build stories with your child. Get really creative. So we're going to use the thigh, the chest, and the hands to create 3 different levels of sound. So the deeper sound, ba ba, da da, ba ba, da da. So ba ba, da da, ba ba, da da, ba ba, da da. So this doesn't have to be perfect. This is the fun part about this, that you and your child or your client can learn together. It is very empowering to allow a child to see you working through something, right? And then because it encourages them to do the same. So the Sunu sounds like this. Ba ba da da. Ba da da. Ba da da. And again, we can take it from the most basic, which is ba ba, ba ba, ba ba, ba ba. And that in itself can be a whole different rhythm. Ba ba, ba ba, ba ba, ba ba, ba ba. Ba ba, ba ba. So it's a moment to be silly. It's a moment to really get into your creativity and allow your child or your client to get into this. Now, we can use other body parts as well. So examine with your child the body parts that they want to explore to mimic deeper sounds, blah, blah. Lighter sounds. Be the tapping of their glasses or their tapping of their chins. Doesn't have to be just the thigh and the chest. Those are body parts that I chose, but it can be anything. It can also be, if they don't feel comfortable touching themselves yet, it can be an item in the room. Body percussion, again, lends to so many different ways to access the body, getting the child to feel comfortable with expressing themselves and to other people, but specifically to one person at first. I hope that works. Bye.
So yeah, thank you. Anything else you want to say?
No, I was just looking at that again. I'm like, I think that part of being a therapist in general, regardless of the modality, is really being open to being goofy and silly, and really just be on an adventure with the child. Our approach is very client-centered, and dance movement therapy really focuses on exploring the relationship between the therapist, the parent, and the child. And body percussion really allowing the parent to, explore their bodies and allowing the child to explore theirs, and really creating a safe space where, especially when the child's nonverbal, where they can explore their bodies with the parent's help. And again, creating and making meaning out of things that non-verbally, that a child doesn't have to struggle to find words or to cognitively always try to understand. this is something that I used with one of my clients that we made our first year anniversary, and I'm so excited to see his growth and just sharing with me his dislikes with the percussion sound that you guys just heard, the higher pitch. He was like, "Can you stop doing that? I don't like it." And obviously, I didn't take offense to that. I think it was a big milestone for him to express with his words rather than his hands, and sharing that he doesn't like something. So the work that we do in general, it takes time and patience. Things don't happen overnight, and I think that things like body percussion and improvisation are just fun ways to use therapy and work with the client.
That's beautiful, Mary. Thank you so much. And last but not least, I'm now going to introduce Joanna, another one of our music therapists who has also been with us since 2019 and also works with the children on Saturdays as well as with our Outshine group on Wednesdays. And she does a bunch of other stuff with CAA as well. But Joanna, I'll hand it off to you.
Thank you, Jackie. And thank you also to Jenna, Jasmine, and Mary. I really enjoyed watching Hello Song, feeling cards, and I'm going to try that body percussion that Mary introduced. It's so fun because it's such an embodied experience, I think, across the modalities where, if we're singing, we're using our voice, but also our eyes, like singing about different things that we see. And then that feeling, just the tactile nature of like getting on the instruments or like petting our bodies or objects and just feeling around of different sounds. I think we've heard a lot already from Jenna, Jasmine, and Mary. And I think one thing that we'll see in this video is also about music as a transitional object and how it helps to, even as we're making things and feeling excited, how it can kind of hold us and carry us through time. And so I made a 5-minute countdown video that I'm excited to share with you. I got it from Wen, where we, as we see that, our session is transitioning to the end, even as, maybe this day is coming to a close and we're winding down, the music can kind of help us with that. And to regulate our emotions and to remind us of things that maybe we did in the session. And also just to kind of help us carry with us what we had in the session after we sing the goodbye. It's something that, the 5-minute countdown has been a ritual that I do with all of the clients, and something that's been exciting as I've observed this while we did it in person together at the piano and then later online, is that we, here in the music room, it's okay if, we run away because it's still within the space and, somebody maybe ran to the drum, but it's still within our music room. But as we've taken things online, if a client runs away from the screen, I sometimes can't see them and I just have to trust that they are there and still listening. We call them the runners and we love them. And something that I've really enjoyed seeing is how with rituals and singing hello, goodbye, and the 5-minute countdown, even the runners would come back, and just because of the familiarity of the song and the transition, they count down with me. They say like 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 through the song, and then we get to wrap it up together. And that's something that's really encouraging for me, just seeing how music facilitates that emotional expression and also carries us through our sessions.
Great. Thank you, Joanna. So I will share this 5-minute countdown now.
Hi. So in music therapy, one of the things that I like to do as we reach the end of the session is to count down from 5 minutes into a goodbye, which is a great way for transitioning and also for recapping what happened in the sessions. And sometimes the clients will count down with me. So we'll 5, take away 1 is 4, and every minute we can say goodbye to a different instrument or to activities that we did, like singing. So here's how it goes, starting from 5 minutes. We have 5 more minutes till we say goodbye. We have 5 more gesture 4, and we have 4 more minutes till we say goodbye. We have 4 more minutes till we say goodbye. We have 4 more minutes, 4 more minutes till we say goodbye. And goodbye to the kazoo. And 4, take away 1 is 3. And we have 3 more minutes till we say goodbye. We have 3 more minutes till we say goodbye. We have 3 more minutes, 3 more minutes till we say goodbye. And goodbye to the harmonica, if we played it in the session. And 3, take away 1 is 2. We have 2 more minutes till we say goodbye. We have 2 more minutes till we say goodbye. We have 2 more minutes, 2 more minutes till we say goodbye. And goodbye to the bongos. And 2, take away 1 is 1. So we have 1 more minute till we say goodbye. We have 1 more minute till we say goodbye. We have 1 more minute, 1 more minute till we say goodbye. And 1 take away 1 is 0. And then this moves us into our goodbye song. So it's time to say goodbye. Goodbye, goodbye to, and we'll say Joanna, because that's my name, and to whoever I'm with. And we might say goodbye to things we didn't get to say goodbye to on 5 minutes. So maybe the piano and something really special that happened, like reading a story or pretending to be something or dancing together in music. And it was us to sing. I'll see you next week. So thank you for your music and goodbye.
So yes, thank you, Joanna, for that. And you introduced it so well. So I don't know if there's anything else you wanted to say about it, but so now I guess in that case, I'd like to open it up to anyone who might have any questions for our creative arts team, anyone individually or as a group. And I guess you can just raise your hand or unmute yourself if you have a question. I have a question. I have a question for, any of the creative arts therapists who did not work on a particular piece of art that's featured in the exhibition with the child, but perhaps works with a child who has a featured artwork in the exhibition. And I'm just curious if you see any parallels or if there's anything that surprised you in their art, or anything that struck you in any way about the piece featured in the exhibition.
So I'm going to answer this question more from a perspective of some of this artwork came from the previous art therapist before me. So some of them were from the kids when I was with them, and some of it's from the kids from before. And it is it's very evident of the time and energy that the previous art therapist, her name is Naomi, she was absolutely wonderful person, put in with the kids. And it's such an illustration of how much like a deep relationship with the kids can like really benefit the artwork that they create, what you get out of it. Because like, you know, as we entered, before we started virtually, they were just getting to know me, you know, so they were just like, there's a stranger in the studio with me, right? So it's really amazing that I'm like, wow, like this artwork that like these kids created with her is so either vibrant or in depth in a way that I didn't really get that opportunity in person, just because they were still getting to know me. You know, and as you guys know, like I'm still currently in training, but before I began school, I was an art educator, and one of the things that we say in the art education world is the relationship is everything. The relationship with the kids is literally everything in the art making process, and it's so evident here, like how much her relationship with them really like helped them thrive.
Yeah.
I have a question.
Yes.
So a lot of the artwork and that is showcased and isn't showcased, and music pieces and stuff like that, is that chosen by the participants and the clients, or is it chosen by the therapists?
These particular works, I believe, were chosen by Phoebe. Is that right, Phoebe?
I think it was Phoebe and I,
Oh, I'm
because some
sorry.
of them I had already pulled, and then Phoebe came in and kind of finalized it. Yeah.
And then during the sessions, do you guys choose do you guys choose the art piece, like what art to work on, or does the client choose?
You're talking about during
Like,
the sessions?
yeah, when you're working directly with
It depends. And it varies by child and by weekend. So, you know, I've been giving them a lot of directives over the last couple of weeks. Of course, like we want like a free art day. Although, and some clients respond really well to a lot of like their own personal control. So I might split it up and might have like a teacher choose, you choose. Like, so half of the session is directed and like something I've decided, the other half, the child gets to decide. Or I might present options like, you know, do you want to do this or this? Sometimes we continue previous work. But yeah, I try to give as much control to the kids as possible because it's something that they crave and they have, you know, kind of every right to.
And maybe I can speak to that a little as well, because I think one of the pieces on the exhibition is by Outshine, and we have Outshine members here: Kevin, Brian, Jack. I don't see the rest of. Oh, Jenny, hi. Yeah, Outshine. You can give a little Outshine high five. And I think in Outshine, one of the things that we do, like maybe I'll suggest the theme, but in the end, they pick the artwork within the theme that we're working on. Like if we're doing fall leaves, the picture on exhibition is their dot art, which is amazing. And it's so fun to see, like, you know, even within maybe choosing something that was Australian dot art inspired, everybody comes up with something so different. The color schemes are different. They choose the colors, the animals, and how long they want to work on it. You know, like we have suggestions like, okay, maybe we'll do it this week. But if people want to do it for a couple more weeks, like that's also open to them. And I think it's exciting to see how within the group context, there's group art and individual expression as well.
I have a question. And if I missed this, I'm sorry, but are there ever opportunities for like cross-discipline collaborations between the different arts therapists? And what does that look like?
Yes, there is. I'm so excited because me and Jenna worked this summer together, and that was like really, really fun to bring our modalities together. So she brought music and I brought obviously movement. So we were able to, create just a story. And it just allows for us to play back and forth with our abilities, and the child really gets to see two different people, two different ways of expression. So yes, we had that opportunity and we actually miss it. I know I do, so.
Yeah, Joanna and I got to work together this past summer as well. And it was an absolute joy. Like, it was just so great. Like, all four of us got to spend a lot of time together leading up to the summer as COVID happened, and we're kind of like adjusting to kind of this new lifestyle, right? So we were already had an opportunity to learn from each other in that context, but having this opportunity to work together with the kids was just like, it took it to a whole new level. It also helped us to better understand like what the kids respond to, because some kids prefer visual arts to music and vice versa. Like, sometimes they need the music to kind of either soothe them or help them move. And so it was just like, there's no better way to kind of expand yourself as a therapist than working with somebody outside of your modality. And so, yeah, it was wonderful. I miss it. Joanna's right across from me, and I still miss working with her.
I agree. I learned so much from working with Mary. And it was nice to have that camaraderie, because it is virtual. So sometimes you click leave and it's like, it's just done, and it's like, it just disappears. So to be able to like kind of process together. And I've never really worked with a dance movement therapist, and Mary's amazing. So I was constantly like keeping stuff in my mind, like, you could use this. This is great. And yeah, it was a really cool and beneficial experience.
Just one more thing, like funny story. So I admire Jenna so much because I don't sing. And I think during one of our supervision sessions, I was advised with a particular client to kind of animate my voice a little bit. And by the end of the session, my mouth was so sore from smiling and just changing my vocals. And it was just, again, you share a modality and then you realize you have more respect for the work, the dedication that the other therapist puts in, so.
No. Yeah, that's always a highlight for us too. I mean, now we don't work with the client at the same time, but we still have opportunities for us to share with each other things about each modality and to kind of incorporate that. So I think Jackie had a question earlier about if we had a client here who wasn't like our art therapy client, but just seeing their art and kind of seeing parallels in the music or the dancing. And I think that's something that's really exciting, just seeing art that is bold, art that is vibrant, and that it carries so much of that personality within the music and dancing as well. Yeah, and we are excited. I think one of the highlights of being in this creative arts therapy team too is just being able to collaborate as therapists. One of my favorite things was when we created like a music track that was passed around, and then each therapist added something to it, like lyrics or a movie or dance and movement. So that's something that we continue to hope to offer to our clients in this community, just that collaboration and creativity.
I think we can all agree that during the onset of COVID, having the time together as a group, as we navigated what would, come next, was really helpful for us, and it allowed us to have strength and connection and a creative outlet ourselves, working with each other, to kind of have the tools to move forward, with the pandemic. And it was I was very grateful that we were allowed to have that time together. I think before we started virtual sessions, we had a few months of group supervision, and it was really just about you know, supporting each other, which is such a gift. I mean, you don't always get that at work. So.
Yeah, it was like our own personal group therapy. It was amazing. And I know me personally, I didn't even know Jenna and Mary existed until we started these group therapies. And I was just like, what? Like, these two incredible women have been basically working side by side with us this entire time. Like, I've had no idea. And it was just like, and I think we met weekly, and it was something like we truly looked forward to every weekend, like every week together. And like we only meet monthly now, and it's still something that we look forward to every month.
So thank you, Phoebe and Win in Taiwan, for keeping our emotional well-being in mind and giving us that chance to support each other as we moved into virtual land.
I just want to say thank you for your incredible work, all the therapists, Jackie, for your contribution, and also Phoebe. All the work you guys are doing, it's really incredible. I just want to really thank you all for the community and for all the youth who, are really blessed to be a part of all the programs. Thank you.
Thank you so much. This job has only confirmed that I am so glad I'm going into this field. Like, I've never enjoyed a job more than I've enjoyed this one.
And I think we have all our clients to thank too, many of whom are on this call, and their parents for the support through the transition. I'm so encouraged that through COVID, we didn't lose clients. We gained a lot more. And it's been exciting just being able to collaborate with both children, youth, and the parents and siblings. And I see a lot of my clients now, their siblings are also on the call. Sometimes the clients make me guess the name of the siblings. I'm like, I don't know what it is. It's fun just seeing everybody within the context of family and community. And I think that's what CAA is very committed to. Like the small details in the big picture, we want to be a part of your family and community. So thank you to all the clients and parents on this call too today. And those who can't make it, we are so grateful for your inspiration for us.
Were there any more questions before we wrap it up?
Well, I think to celebrate, we should all turn on our mics for a few seconds and just cheer and clap together, because all the art therapists and artists deserve a really big round of applause. So turn on your mics and make some noise. Woo!
Thank you.
All right.
Thank you all so much. It's really evident from what you've shared and in the conversations that there's a lot of community here. There's a lot of support, and that's important all the time, but it's been particularly important through times like these. So we're grateful for the work that you're doing at Center for All Abilities. We're grateful for each staff member and therapist, all the families, every single youth who's involved. The work you're doing is really beautiful, and it's just sustaining. So thank you for sharing that with us. We hope that we will see you guys again at our other 2 events coming up. We've kept them all Saturdays at 4:30 p.m. so it's easy to remember. The next one is in 2 more weeks, and I'm really excited to meet the artists. So we're gonna get to hear from the artists, which is really exciting. Please invite your family and friends. And that is on February 6th, Saturday at 4:30 p.m. There will be a separate Zoom link for that, so be on the lookout. And then the 3rd and final event will be an art making workshop. Is that with Jasmine? Is that who the workshop will be with?
With me and with Phoebe.
Awesome. Great.
Yeah, I'm very excited.
I'm excited too. So that will be on February 20th, Saturday at 4:30 p.m. And there will be a separate Zoom link for that as well. And this will be a workshop that we can do from home with supplies that we can find in our homes, correct? So thank you all so much. This was a real treat and a real encouragement as well. And I hope you guys all enjoy the rest of your weekend. And hopefully we'll see you back at one of the other events. So thank you. Thank you guys. Have a good night.
Thank
Bye.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye, everybody.
you. Jack.
Bye, Miss
Bye, everyone.
Jackie.
Bye, Jenny.
Bye, everyone.
Bye, Miss Jenna.
Bye.
Bye, Jenny. Bye, and also bye, everyone else.
Bye-bye, Phoebe. Bye.